What's up guys, it's James here from Match Fit Condition. In this video we're going to be talking about how you can get your game up to pro level, and we're going to be specifically focusing on progressing your game in terms of your fitness. And it always comes back to this big question lots of players ask us, which is during the season how can they fit all these different elements of training in that they're told they need to in order to get their game up to pro level, when they've already got a very busy team schedule and it seems like they haven't got the time to do any of this. Now before I forget, if you want to go deeper with this, go to our website, matchfitcondition.com, and check out the Messier Pro Football Formula. You're going to find that really interesting. It's really going to help you take your game up to the next level. So we all know that to become a pro player for your age group, you need to be technically gifted. But it always comes back round to this question of how can I actually get my fitness up to pro level, so develop that area of my game so that my technical skill can I can put that on show for the entire duration of a match, and also do it at a high level when the game's more intense as well, and without getting injured. And how do I do that as well without becoming so tired and fatigued that by the time team training or a match comes around, I'm so knackered that I'm not performing as well as if compared to if I did nothing at all. And I totally get it. It can be really confusing. There are lots of things you have to try and fit in, but it's important not to become overwhelmed by this. The whole point of your training during the season is to optimize yourself for matches and training. If it's causing you extra stress, or if it's causing you to be tired, fatigued, sore, then it's actually going against the whole point in doing the training. So again, it's talking about this thing of minimum effective dose. So it's applying the right amount of stress, I guess, to the body to optimize your performance without doing too much. So we don't want to do too much training so that you become sore, but we don't want to do too little. We want to do sort of work out what is just the right amount we can do to progress your game. But in terms of progressing your game, you've got to focus on your strength development, your stamina, your speed, injury prevention work as well. But the main bulk of progression we do in those areas is actually during the pre-season, because that's the only time of the year where you've got enough time to really try and progress yourself, because we've got more recovery time. Any soreness that we've got built up, we've got the time there to recover from that and then progress. During the season, we want to avoid muscle soreness at all costs. It's about tweaking your training and molding it around your schedule so that you get time efficient sessions in there, which also allow you enough recovery time to feel fresh by the time a team session comes around or a match comes around as well. Now again, if you want to go deeper with this, Messier Pro Football Formula on our website, matchfitcondition.com. So I've been doing a little bit of research lately on YouTube, and I've actually noticed a growing trend, which is current pro players, not necessarily world class, but pro players in various countries who are recording the training that they're doing away from their team sessions, for other players to learn from, to help them get their game up to pro level, which is really cool. But I totally get the confusion element around it, because if you're watching loads of videos and you're seeing what all these different pro players are doing, you're thinking, how on earth am I going to fit this all into my schedule, and how do I know it's going to be right for me? And the answer is that you don't have to do everything in one session. We can compartmentalize things, so you don't have to do your speed and your stamina and your strength all in one session, which is what I see in some of these videos. We're trying to do technical work, mobility work, strength, speed, stamina, all in the same sessions. So they're like mega sessions, thinking we can improve all these things at the same time. But that's more likely to cause fatigue, and it's more likely that you're going to have different training elements interfering with each other and limiting their effectiveness. So what we can do instead is separate these out, because that way we can pair things together which complement each other. For example, mobility work alongside your strength work. If you do that before you're doing the strength work, you're going to increase your mobility, and that's going to carry over and improve your performance during your strength work. And it's also going to increase the chances of you actually keeping those increases in mobility and flexibility that you've just worked on before the strength session. So that's a great time to work on mobility just before a strength session. But also in terms of a mistake I see is people doing speed and stamina work at the same time. So when you do speed work, you must make sure that you're fresh, otherwise you're going to get no benefit from that. So if you do your speed work after your stamina work, it's completely pointless, you're training more than you need to. The training you're doing is probably not going to pay off for you, and that's all time that you could be spent recovering. So in our in-season program, one of the things we actually do, and we're really that's really been carefully planned, is making the sessions really simple so you can quickly do them, they're time efficient, and you still have enough recovery time as well. So a great time to do your stamina work is actually straight after your team training session, because you're already warm, you've already got your boots on, you're out on the pitch, and just grab a few cones, put them out, 10-15 minutes of intense work. By the time everyone else is leaving, you've got a good session in there, and you've got just as much recovery time as them before your next session. That's training smart. So don't overwhelm yourself by trying to pack all these different things into one session. By separating them out and doing them over a period of weeks, rather than trying to cram them all into the same week, thinking I've got to work on my mobility, my speed, my stamina all in one go. Again, we're not trying to progress these areas during the season, we're trying to maintain them. So don't stress, don't overwhelm yourself. By separating them out, it actually enables us to measure the effectiveness of each one. So if we do a strength session, for example, we can see where we're at, and we're thinking, when we measure, for example, your energy levels, which we do with our tracking system in the Messier and Pro Football Formula that I was speaking about. When we measure what we feel like after each session, we can then decide what the appropriate session is to do next in order to optimise yourself on the football pitch during team sessions and on a match day as well. Okay, now again, if you want to go deeper with this, Messier and Pro Football Formula, matchfitcondition.com is the website to check that out on. So just to summarise, don't stress during the season. If you want to get your game up to pro level, it's about training smart. Don't think you have to bunch everything together. It's almost better to try and simplify things, separate them out, do them over a period of a few weeks, and you're still going to be developing your game, but know that you're in this for the long term. Okay, you can't quickly have significant results. You've got to do them consistently over time. And by doing your speed work, stamina work, injury prevention, mobility work, things like that, over time, you'll definitely notice the benefits. So don't try and cram them all into one session and overwhelm yourself thinking that you need an extra hour and a half or 2 hours every single day to put this work in. It can just be 10-15 minutes of intense work at the right time, which is really going to help you take your game to the next level. Going to give you, still give you loads of recovery time as well. And if you couple that with great nutrition, you're going to really notice your recovery speeding up, and you're going to be feeling great as well. So thanks for listening. If you've got any questions, just put them in the comments below this video. Really happy to answer any of those. And again, if you want to go deeper with this, Messier and Pro Football Formula on our website, matchfitconditioning.com. Okay, thanks so much for listening, guys, and I'll catch you soon.